isn't my only dream. Break from the scheme. Waking up at dawn, all my fears are gone. Almost up today, never, never, not today. Step by step I go, faster than the flow. Broke through every chain, I will not be contained.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful night. I had a good evening tonight. I was hanging out with my wife, hanging out by the fire pit. We got some warm weather in Georgia. Got her joggling board painted today. I mean, it's been just an overall good day. And because I was hanging out with my wife, I was planning on doing a stream much earlier, and we just ended up hanging out for a while. And then I even got to talk with my brother, which was nice. I meant to call him after Thanksgiving, but our paths weren't crossing. Good to see you, Mark West. Good to see you, Tammy. Roxanne. You don't have to leave on a red light. Natalie, good to see you. Good to see you, Elka, West, and Sir Frank Otter. Good to see you. It's been an interesting day. And I figured I would just do a nice little unwind and see what happens. See what happens. Not bad. Last couple of days, still 40 right now. Even well, that's good. That's good. Today was in the 60s. It's like 59, 56 right now. And tomorrow's supposed to be a warmer day, but of course, my wife will be out and about, and so I'm sort of on my own for tomorrow, which will be really interesting. I'm used to cooking for two, so I have to cook for just one. I think I can manage that. I somehow am able to. It's 16 right now, so it's moving down slowly. Oof, no thank you. Don't like the cold. I'm not liking the cold at all. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. Yes, it is. It is. I saw that Shara did come out with a new video. I'll probably cover that tomorrow. I just had to take a step back just for an evening, have a little bit of Sov Cits to make me, scratch my head and watch the craziness. So and I saw that there was a couple of that I hadn't caught up on. I figured I would just bring those up and just hang out with chat for a nice chill evening, maybe imbibe in a nice cold beverage. Definitely not have as much to drink as I did last night, because this morning was rough. Ooh, yeah. It was a long night last night. That's cold. 34 degrees. No, thank you. If it gets below 40, I'm just like, I feel like I need to bundle up extra heavy. I don't like it. I have to bundle up extra heavy. But yeah, that poor mailman being attacked by Nevermore. all the shinies from the bag, the shinies from the bag. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, we've got the most inept sovereign sit idiot pissed. He's back in jail yet again, and the judge is going to slam him down. Let's check this out.
Do you want me to enter a plea, or do you just want to ramble about jurisdiction?
Ooh.
From Martin here. Is this the new domestic violence? Yeah. We already set this for, because he had a warrant out.
Next to be Mr. Martin.
Howdy. Good to see you. Hey, Libby, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Though. Well, I'll be with him in a second. All right, we're ready. All right, this is 2424448 SM, the
Like a
people
pheasant
versus
always looks
Eric
better under
Martin.
glass.
Mr. Martin, can you tell me your name?
I'm like a Roman cystic case, that's what you're wondering.
Okay, I recognize Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, it's my understanding that Mr. Coots, an attorney, defense attorney, attempted to meet with you to go over your rights and that you did not want to meet with him. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Well, at
Much
first
shocked
I
by
did,
that.
and then I kind of changed my mind. I'm still, in the sense of not giving you guys the fraudulent presumption that you got jurisdiction over me when you don't. That's why I don't want to take it, but,
So
then
no.
again, I kind of
Okay.
flinch too because
Because I'm gonna mute you so I can tell you your rights, Mr. Martin. I need you to listen. So here are your rights.
I just see him
Been
going
brought
la 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 la
before
la la la
on
la la la
an
la la.
allegation of a bond violation.
Hey
Specifically,
Karen, how's it
you
going?
currently
How's it
have a
going?
domestic violence case pending at this court in front of Judge Slavin. And on that case, the complainant is Kirk Martin. There was a no contact provision. And that was one of the conditions of bond. And there's an allegation that on December 14th, so just this weekend,
Mr. Martin.
that someone called from the residence of Kirk Martin and indicated you were in the home. And the officers alleged that you were, that they checked and that you had bond conditions out of this
Thank you,
court saying
Captain
you
Kern.
weren't to
Yes, it
be
is.
near
It
him.
is good.
And that you were taken into custody for violating your bond conditions of no contact with Kirk Martin. These are allegations at this
Busted.
time, but they're serious allegations of violation and no contact provision. So do you want me to enter a plea or do you just want to ramble about jurisdiction? I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can answer my question. Officer Ziegler, I'm sorry, can you unmute? Mr. Martin, you have options, so you understand that's what you're here on. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or
Yeah,
you
she's
can
gonna
say
smack him
nothing,
good.
and I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. So to the allegations that you violated the conditions of your bond for purposes of arraignment, how do you plead?
first I want to notify crimes. Before I get to that, I want to notify you crimes.
That's your crime.
against me in the jail here,
You
since
violated
I've
your
been here,
bond.
such as criminal harassment.
That's all you need.
Okay, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
Guys,
I'm not just talking,
But
just
your
talking over
answer is not
but I don't like that
responsive.
outcome.
My
Yeah.
First Amendment right, freedom of speech. And this whole bond order condition, it violates my due process right to be free at my house, which is based on an unsupported lying allegation by my brother. Therefore, this is all violation of my due process rights. The bond order should have never been done.
It
This
don't
is
matter,
all
son.
unconstitutional. The case should be dismissed.
It's very
I demand it be
constitutional.
dismissed. Now,
All right, so sir, you have a right to a hearing on this matter.
Not what you
You
want.
have a right to receive written notice of the
Think you do.
violation. You have a right to plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute. I've entered a not guilty plea on your behalf since your response was non-responsive. You also have a right to contest the charges at a hearing. You do have the right to the assistance of an attorney at all subsequent court proceedings, and you can change your mind at any time, Mr. Martin. You have the right to have that lawyer appointed at public expense if you are unable to afford an attorney. And it's always possible that if the court determines you were able to pay, that you would be required to contribute to that cost.
So if you're a broke ass
Continue
bitch,
to proceed
you got
without an
covered.
attorney, you would give up your right to a lawyer's assistance. We will set the hearing. I'm required to set that hearing on that violation. If you are in custody, we must hold it within 14 days of the arraignment, which is 14 days today. from today, or the court must order you released pending that hearing. If the alleged violation is based on a new criminal offense that is set basis for separate criminal prosecution, I don't have any knowledge that that's the case here. The court could
no
postpone
fun,
the hearing
Tammy.
for the outcome of that prosecution. You have a right to contest the allegations against you. You would have a right to have the evidence against you disclosed. You'd have the right to present at the hearing or to be present to present evidence and to examine and cross-examine witnesses. The court will
Have a
only
good old
consider
time.
evidence that's relevant to the violation, but it need not apply the rules of evidence except those pertaining to privilege. The prosecuting attorney would have the burden of proving the violation by a preponderance of the evidence. If you pled guilty, you'd be giving up your right to a contested hearing.
Yeah, she's just excited.
And while this case is pending, you could be
Yeah, you don't be messing
the
with
most
this lady.
severe violation is you could be held pending the hearing, and if found guilty of this violation, you could be held while this case is waiting for jury trial. So those are your rights, Mr. Martin. Mr.
How are you
Martin,
going to screw this up,
I
Mr. Martin?
understand your sovereign arguments. I mean, it's fine. You can make them. I've heard them before. Everyone at this court has heard them. But here's the thing. I can't have you, if there is a no contact order and you continue to violate the no contact order, I can't let you out because you're not listening. And I know you don't think you have, because you don't. Okay, well, you do, this isn't accordance with the Constitution. And okay.
And the fact you are deliberately right to be home because of an unsupported lying allegation. I'm telling you right now, he told a lie. And I told the prosecutor my brother stole me in actuality. First and foremost, he stole me. But I had no evidence of it. I don't have him on video evidence. He doesn't have me on video evidence to stole him. So we have my brother saying this, me saying this. We don't know what happened in reality. So the dumb cop should never arrest me. Prosecutors should not be moving forward on this. They're moving forward with it. It's already a malicious prosecution on the prosecutor's part. There's no probable cause because there's no evidence here. Bottom line, we don't know what happened. This is violating my due process rights. I'm being deprived of my freedom to be in the house I've been living at.
Yeah, Mr. Martin's under the wrong assumption that the more vehemently he argues, the more the court will listen.
Once again, unsupported lying allegations that has no video evidence, no real evidence to support it. The bond order must be dismissed. I'm supposed to be allowed to go back where I have a right to be. Doesn't matter how many lies are told.
Let me tell you.
Well, and the best part about it is the more people talk, the more that they yell and scream and freak out over these kinds of things, the further they bury themselves. Yeah, Mr. Martin is no stranger to this courtroom, sadly. No, he is no stranger to this judge either. She knows him very well. Or she's just taking care of paperwork while he rants. Absolutely. Because I mean, why would you sit here and tolerate this kind of yammering? You know, you just go, okay. You know, nothing I say is going to change the fact of what you're doing. So all she's doing is getting everything lined up, going by the law. And then she slaps it down and goes, yeah, you're under my jurisdiction. You're in my jail. So whether you like it or not, you're screwed. You know, none of these arguments are going to do anything for you. There's not some magic words you can say that's going to get you out of jail for breaking a restraining order. Sadly. Mm-hmm.
Your bond conditions, Mr. Martin. You're to appear in court as directed. All right, I'll mute you and read them. Whether you like them or not, these are your conditions, sir. So I'll just read them into the record and you can choose to listen or not listen. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. Whether you like it or not, you're not to have any contact with Kirk Martin or the residence where he resides and where this original allegation occurred, which is for Clipper in the city of Taylor. Sir, you cannot purchase or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You can't possess or have access to firearms.
Oh, that sucks. You mean I can't get drunk and act all like a belligerent and shit? Damn. That sucks. Guess you gotta sober up for a little bit, huh?
You have a $2,000 cash bond. I've noted on the file that you're entitled to this hearing forthwith. So the clerks will give you a date forthwith. And we're all set. Thank you.
Uh-oh. You guys show a little bit of love to Old Squishy's Garden. It is hilarious. He's got some really good stuff. And I saw this next one I'm going to show you. It's pretty good. This one is with Judge Simpson. Just a little bit ago. And here we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Old Squishy's Garden. Yeah. He's listening to Iron Man. I am Iron Man. I really wish they would do away with Zoom for a lot of this stuff. Like if it's some sort of contentious case, they should be forced to show up in court. I mean, the good part about it is it gives us really good content. That is one of the best parts about it. Yeah, what's going on? Here we go. All right. It was a little slow getting in there.
Yeah.
Comfy name. I like it.
A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Cedric.
You may be seated. And is Ms. Lundy here or no? Court does call the case of the People versus Van Davis.
Good morning, or afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Davis. Please state your name for the record.
Mayor Dwayne Davis.
Thank you.
Man, Dwayne
Chris
Davis.
Blair on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Davis is before the court for violation of probation hearing. Mr. Davis is not compliant with the terms ordered in his probation case in that he owes a balance of $965. He's made no payments towards that. He's failed to complete the relapse prevention program, failed to complete mental health assessment and or treatment, failed to complete 25 hours of community service, failed to report to probation as directed.
Comfy's like,
He has 3 new
damn,
criminal
brother.
convictions and RMC stolen property under 200. The alleged date of, I'm sorry, the date of event for that was April 23rd of 24. He also has a retail fraud out of Van Buren. That date of offense was August 6th of 2024. He has a controlled substance use out of the 34th District Court, date of offense August 11th of 24. He also has several new pending cases, which is scheduled for court hearings, -1 out of the 3rd Circuit Court, and he's on bench warrant status with that. Probation is recommending in this case, Your Honor, that Mr. Davis serve 280 days in jail with 180 that he serves, waive remaining terms, accept his
About 8
financial
months.
obligations, and discharge him from probation.
Jordan, I did speak with Mr. Davis regarding the recommendation. We do ask that you adopt it. Regarding his Wayne County case, I did email his counsel in that one to see if they can get him arraigned while he's in our jail. He does have a couple, obviously, other pending matters. He'll be before you
Quite
on
a few.
Thursday. So again, we ask that you adopt this so Mr. Davis can focus on his other cases.
Yeah,
Davis, anything you want to say?
that's what he wants.
No, Your Honor. I'm in agreement with my attorney.
Pardon?
I'm in agreement with my attorney.
Okay. Let's see before,
Hmm.
I see. The last one, all right. Sentence of the court, 280 days in jail, credit 280 served. I'll waive all remaining terms except his financial obligations, discharge him from probation without improvement.
Didn't partake, and I have no moral high ground here. There you go. He
Courthouse
would
case
be
People versus
Nope.
Rachel Lind.
a good job. Let's go. Way to go. And I missed it.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Kevin Cousins, P number 85044, appearing on behalf of Ms. Lindeman, who is next to me.
And your name, ma'am?
Rachel Lindeman.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, we've received the recommendation.
Let me just say that is a statement of a goatee. That is one statement of a goatee. It looks like he threw up his chin. Stop a guy and he was yelling at him. As I approached the other side, gained 5. So I said, fuck that. That goatee. Damn. Yeah. It's not a goatee, man. That is some serious, like, dude, trim that stuff up. It looks like you, I don't know. I don't get it.
Of the probation, the only corrections we would have would be under the physical and mental health. And they're just basically some housekeeping type of corrections. She doesn't meet with her psychiatrist quarterly for medication reviews. She meets more often, approximately every 6 weeks. And her therapist is not with Trinity Health. Her therapist is in private practice. Other than that, Your Honor, we would adopt the recommendations of the probation.
Funny.
The only request that we would have is Ms. Lemon has $200 today to be cash today to be, which she will pay after sentencing towards restitution. But in light of the fact that she is on SSI and only brings in $1,200 a month, we would request that the fines and costs, $480 fines and the $180 probation be waived due to her income.
Okay.
If the court wishes, we will follow through with the ability to pay packet also.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's what you'll do. I'll order what I'll order and then you can get that packet to us. Ma'am, anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No, sir, none that I can think of.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. It's a sentence of the court, 6
She's
months
easy.
prosecuted deferred sentence. You're to pay $480 fines at court costs, $180 probation oversight fees, $225.70 restitution to Walmart payable to the court. And of that, you have 200 today? Is
Yes.
that correct? Ma'am? All right. I'll mark that you're gonna pay that today.
Guessing she shoplifted.
200 today toward the restitution. I will indicate that all of the rest of that will be a payment plan as determined by probation or set up through probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a theft class. You're to do that within the next 60 days. You are to continue your individual therapy with
Nice.
probation. No going to any
That's the way
Walmart
to do
store
it.
in the state of Michigan. I will set a review hearing that's to be held June 11, 2025, 9 a.m. I'll order 93 days in jail. That is suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's very
Thank you,
damn
counsel.
nice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's pretty
Court
damn
does
nice,
call
of
the
the
case
judge.
of the people versus Clifford Horn.
The top right, it's a possibility.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Horn, who stands to my right, please state your name.
This
for the
guy
record,
looks like
sir.
a serial killer.
Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. My client and I have had the opportunity to review the PSIR as well as the recommendation. We have no material changes. Well, actually, we do have one change. Mr. Horn states at that mailing address, he does not believe he can receive mail there any longer. At this time, he does not have a mailing address. Outside of that, we have no material changes and would respectfully request that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
Sir, is there anything you want to tell the court before
No.
I close sentence? No? All right.
Nope, I'm easy, Judge.
$125
Getting in that
statutory
shit.
minimums. All over 93
Where's
days.
my
of jail
car?
credit, 93 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Larry Hoxie.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the court. Teresa Cedrino, PA 495, on behalf of Larry Hoxie, who is present on Zoom and consents to proceeding via Zoom this afternoon.
Sure.
He was even there early.
Please. You'll have to unmute.
Larry Hoxie.
All right, thank you. Go
What'd you
ahead.
do, Larry?
Your Honor,
You
we
gonna
have
be
received
easy?
a copy of the pre-sentence report. I have gone over it with Mr. Hoxie. There are no additions, corrections, or deletions that need to be made to the report. I just want to note some things for the court. This entire situation stems from a serious mental health episode that Mr.
Oh.
Hoxie has been experiencing. However,
A lot of these
ever
people
since
have
then,
mental
he's
health issues.
been diagnosed, he's been engaged in treatment, he goes to treatment on a bi-weekly basis with 2 different providers. He's also been prescribed medication, and ever since, it sounds like he's doing better than ever. He knows the opportunity that he is receiving with the prosecution's deferred, and I have no doubt that Mr. Hoxie is going to go above and beyond to achieve everything asked of him. He's already
I mean, he
taken
was
a
there
theft
early and
course
everything.
voluntarily. He's already also voluntarily engaged in community service work. He's working at the local homeless shelter, or volunteering, I'm
Nice.
sorry, at the local homeless shelter in Washtenaw County. With respect to the recommendation, Your Honor, it's extremely reasonable given the circumstances, and we would ask the court to adopt that recommendation. Thank you.
Mr. Hoxie, anything you want to say before the court imposes sentence, sir?
Way to go, Mr. Hoxie.
Oh, except that I'm glad that I'm on the up and up, as they say, for all forms of health, and I'm very grateful for that.
Very good. All right, it's a sentence of the court, place you on 3 months probation. You are to, was this supposed to be a prosecutor's deferred or no?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Did I make an error?
I don't,
Oh, yes, it should be a 3-month prosecutor. deferred.
prosecutor
It is my
deferred.
error.
I see my note, but I don't see that. All right.
Judge Simpson seems to be pretty
I'm
solid.
going to place you on 3 months prosecutor probation for 3 months under the prosecutor's deferred sentence program. You're going to pay $480 fines and court costs, $90
Ouch.
probation oversight fees, $859.45 restitution to Walmart payable through the court. When can you pay that, sir?
I could pay that today.
Yeah, fighting is bad.
All right, very good. And you were informed the restitution needs to be paid in cash, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to attend individual therapy with verification to probation. You're to complete 25 hours of community service as directed by probation. No going to any Walmart store in the state of Michigan. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held March
Yeah,
12,
that's true.
2025 at 9 a.m. I'll order 93 days in jail. That is suspended. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day to you and your staff.
You too. Thank you.
She's a cutie. I'd let her
First
call me
case,
daddy.
People versus Jennifer Kegley.
Oh, he's just moving right through them.
This is Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Kegley, who is approaching. State your name for the record, ma'am.
Jennifer Kegley.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the day and time set for sentencing. Ms. Kegley was assessed by the CCOP program. We have had the opportunity to review that assessment as well as probation sentencing recommendation. We would respectfully request that the court adopt the sentencing recommendation, including her placement on a scram tether and her release from the jail upon sentencing.
Kegley, anything you want us?
No.
Smart.
The court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, it does believe that there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. Specifically, the alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of all phases of CCOP, discovery, recovery, relapse, and prevention groups. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated recommended goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of treatment. Therefore, the sentence of the court.
Good.
You are placed on 24 months probation. You're to pay
And hedge clippers.
$855 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs,
Always need
$100
hedge clippers.
police agency recovery costs, and $720 probation oversight fees. When can you pay that?
Today.
Thank you. Pay that today. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the CCOP program. You're to attend 2 AA meetings.
Oh,
per
yeah,
week
that's
with
right. I
monthly
remember that.
verification to probation. You're to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. You are to be placed on a scram unit for the next 60 days. I'll order 93 days in jail, credit 14. The balance is suspended with placement on the scram prior to release. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah. Judge is being pretty damn chill today. Like, you know it's going to go haywire
Buzz
on
case,
him.
People versus Kenneth Barber.
Always does. Always goes haywire.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie, Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Barbie, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the
There's
record?
Mr. Barbie.
Kenneth Barbie.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. Mr. Barbie and I have had the opportunity to review the PSIR, and we have no changes or corrections, and would ask that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
All right, Mr. Barbie, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
Wow.
Sentence of the court, I will place you on 9 months probation. You are to pay $555 fines and court costs, $270 probation oversight fees. When
Target
can you pay
selection,
that?
but will eventually humble you. Yeah.
I can pay a portion of it today. Hopefully more than, actually, hopefully I can get all of it taken care of by the end of the year. But I can pay a portion of it today.
Okay, so how much can you pay today, you think?
200.
Okay, pay 200 today, and then you say you can have the balance by the 31st of this month?
Yes, sir.
Then the balance by December 31st, 2024. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation.
Yeah,
You're to
Michigan is
complete
a
gun safety
pretty
class
horrible
as
state.
directed by probation, which you already have completed. You are not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon.
Ooh.
I will
Yeah.
order the forfeiture of the Glock 23 with the serial number as listed in the file. I'll order 365 days in jail. That is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
One thing, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make mention that the gun was already forfeited.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I just wanted to make mention that the gun has already been forfeited.
Okay, I understand. I just have to order it forfeited, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Wow.
Darby. You're all set.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Man.
Court calls the case, People versus Stephen John.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. John. Mr. John, please state your name for the record.
Stephen John, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we are here today. We did review the recommendation and the alcohol assessment report. We do ask that you stop there. I think Mr. John is a very good candidate for probation. He's been very attentive. He asked really good and thoughtful questions and is taking it very seriously. So again, we ask that you adopt probation correct.
All right. Mr. John, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I regret my decision I made. It put my life and then other people's lives around me in danger, and it's something that I wasn't raised to do or raised to be
No.
like. So I just wanted to.
You don't want to go to
apologize for that,
Michigan.
and it's something that I won't ever do again. Thank you.
This court, you're welcome. This court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. Specifically, the alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of early intervention programming, attendance at AA meetings, and abstinence from all intoxicants. Therefore, the court will follow probation's recommendation of a probationary sentence with.
I mean, if you're going to get probation, I guess you shouldn't be having any sort of intoxicants.
Recidivism and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. It is therefore the sense of the court, you are placed on
So much
probation for a
fun.
period of 12 months. You're to pay $855 fines and costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, and $360 probation oversight fees. When can that be paid?
I could probably get it to you by the end of January. I could also do $300 today.
You can
Yeah, there
say
you
that
go.
again. You can do $300 now.
I can do $300 today, and then hopefully by the end of January, if that's okay, Your Honor.
Okay, $200 today. And the balance by January 31st, 2025.
Nice.
No use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the alcohol highway safety education program. You're to attend 3A meetings in total with verification to probation. You're to provide proof of victims impact panel attendance to probation, which you've done. That has been completed. You are to continue the sober link for an additional 30 days in lieu of 4 days in jail. Will order 93 days in jail. Credit 1, the balance is suspended. All right. Thank you.
Wow.
Your Honor. One second.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Did you say 200 or 300?
You said you were going to pay 200 today.
I can do 300 today. Sorry. My fault.
I knew that. I didn't know why you were trying to short me the 100.
Oh, man.
Okay. Pay the 300
Good day,
today.
Your Honor.
All right. You
Thank
take care.
You take care.
Court does call the case. People versus Caitlin Morgan.
Well, something always
Good
has to go
afternoon,
wrong.
Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Morgan. Is Mr. Morgan on Zoom, Your Honor?
No. Film screen's empty, much like this water thing.
Your Honor, I have been trying to get in touch with Mr. Morgan. I've been unable to, so I have.
I thought they were going to fill this before I got on the. It's empty. And just,
Sorry.
but no, I'm parched. I'll go on. I'll trudge through.
Really makes a lot of.
Oh,
difference.
gee, thanks, Ann.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I don't have much more to say, other than, I haven't had contact with her. I don't, have an explanation for that is here. I do know the court sent an email last week that she got
That's right.
surgery, but I don't know if that prevented her from coming today. I haven't spoken with her.
Well, did,
And Teresa Claire on behalf of.
yes.
Your Honor, the victim is
I'm
present
same.
today. She did provide, some documentation of some possible, contact. She provided copies of text messages that she believes was sent from Miss Morgan to herself.
From Ms. Morgan to,
Correct. If we could approach, I could explain what she's providing.
Okay.
So we would have an issue of a bond violation.
got it. That's what I thought you were getting at. Thank you, Ann.
And we,
Welcome.
maybe we approach.
Yes, you may.
All right.
In this matter, record should reflect we had a bench conference in this case. The defendant is not present at this time. What the court's going to do is court is going to issue a bench warrant for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of 50,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. But that warrant is to issue immediately, given what I've seen with reference to what may be alleged contact in the matter. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Court does call the case, People versus Ellis, Shropshire. Ooh,
Wife wanted tacos. Yeah, we did some chicken bog. It was good.
that's good.
Uh-oh.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Shropshire, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Ellie Shropshire.
Okay.
Teresa Clara on behalf of probation, and Your Honor, Mr. Shropshire is for violation of probation here. Mr. Shropshire is not compliant with the terms ordered by this court. He has a balance
sucks.
of $2,175. He's made no payments towards his balance. He failed to complete outpatient programming, failed to complete 2
Of course, huh? Just warming up. Ah.
Was September 26th of 24. When
Did it involve alcohol?
Your Honor, I don't have anything that shows it was, however, with Mr. Shropshire, I do believe that it did. I did have, we had a long conversation about him getting into compliance. Mr. Shropshire did contact Clara to get into treatment. He did send me verification.
Oakdale Recovery.
Oakdale Recovery. It was sent from Clara.
Well, it's
Mhm.
same building.
So he did have an appointment with them yesterday. However, I did get verification from them that the staff changed that appointment to the 23rd.
Next Monday. I didn't have the money to pay for it.
Okay.
So I do have verification of that. I do believe that Mr. Shropshire needs some help or is looking for help with his drinking. Given that I did have a conversation with Mr. Shropshire and the belief that this new criminal conviction did involve alcohol, although I have nothing but my conversation with him. At this time, probation's asking that the court adjourn this violation hearing out to January 15th at 9 a.m. That Mr. Shropshire report to community corrections today for a placement on a scram tether, that he provide proof of his Oakdale recovery assessment, which would now be from December 23rd, his new date, that he follow all recommended treatment with status reports to probation, that he make a payment of $75 by December 30th, then $150 per month, that he become compliant with all previously ordered terms prior to the adjourned VOP date or face possible sanctions, which could and likely include jail time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're ultimately respectfully requesting that the court adopt probation's recommendation and adjourn the VOP to January 15th. I do believe that Mr. Shropshire will be able to keep his appointment at Oakdale on Monday, and that he will then be able to provide that proof to probation and then remain in compliance with that treatment plan. I do believe he really is going to be getting on the right path and becoming in compliance, and he does understand the need to report to community corrections today to get his scram tether, excuse me. So we are ultimately requesting that the court adopt the recommendation.
All right. Shropshire, what was going on with you? What?
Uh,
A lot of times
Jeez.
just make a mistake.
If I give you this chance, you're gonna take advantage of it and do this?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hold you to your word.
All right, man.
Okay. I'll adjourn the violation of probation hearing to January 15th, 2025, 9 a.m. Defendant is to report to community corrections today for placement on a scram tether. You are to provide proof of Oakdale recovery assessment now set for the 23rd. Follow all recommended treatment with status reports to probation. You are to pay $75 to the court by December 30th, 2024, then $150 per month. You are to become compliant with all previously ordered terms prior to the adjourned VOP date on the 15th of January or face possible sanctions, which, as Blair indicates, could include jail time and most likely then what? Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Your Honor, my office can do the order for the.
Come here. Got it, for the scram. Okay, very good. All right, go
So I
out there
head
and do
over
it,
to
young
the
man.
teller place now.
Pardon?
So I head over to the teller place now.
Yeah, you gotta get a copy of an order. Are you gonna do the order? He should head over.
Yes, and he can stop by my office and get the order from my office.
All right.
Ooh, ooh.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm only here for Deputy Allen. If he isn't here, I'm out.
Courthouse
Go,
case
Jenny.
Siegel versus
Nothing
Sean
wrong with that.
Costello.
Good to see you. There he
Assistant Public
is.
Defender Natalie Pay on behalf of Mr. Costello. I'm not sure is present, Your Honor, unless he is present via Zoom.
He is not.
Your Honor, I did attempt to make contact with Mr. Costello and was unsuccessful.
Ooh.
I do not have an explanation for his failure to appear, other than I don't know if that phone number was his correct phone number that I attempted to reach him on.
Possibly not.
Bench warrant will issue for the defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set amount of $15,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That will issue immediately. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's a wonderful place to be, out in the country, surrounded by
Court does call the
forest.
case of the people versus Ladante Knowles.
Wow. He's just popping right through them.
I'm doing well. Yourself? How much? All right.
Is this not the one I thought it was?
Your Honor.
I'm doing great. You owe money.
I know. I'm trying to, actually, I wanna be able to, I just finished the job last night and waiting on them to pay me. I want to make a payment today.
Oh, this is the
but
one I
I'm
thought it was.
thinking I pay at least $96 by the end of the month, and then I want to ask you if I could get on a $200 payment plan a month.
So hold on. You're gonna pay 96 by the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it right now. If they pay me, I'll pay you today. I just don't want to tell you that and not do it. Will not be able to do it.
Ms. Valera.
Yes, Your Honor.
Uh,
Mr. Knowles used to be on probation, actually with this case.
Oh, I know.
Okay, and so Mr. Knowles was supposed to be before this court back at the end of November. He appeared, but was late. The court issued a bench warrant. With getting the bench warrant recall done, but he did make a payment of the 200 at the end of November, the day he came in, because he wanted to prove to you that he did make it to the court. He's very nervous about talking to you today.
Is
so
he?
When I spoke with him,
Why is he nervous?
I told him to make sure that he comes up with a payment plan that he can do. Not to tell you something that he couldn't do. So I believe that that's why he's setting for what he's asking that you let him do.
yeah.
Why is he going to give me 96?
It's
Right? Why you just pick 96?
Well, because I got to buy cigarettes, man.
That's what. Is that what you're doing?
No, it was just an odd amount. It was $8.96.
Oh, the amount you owe.
Yeah.
So that's how you pick that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wanted to give you 200. Like
I wanted you to You did that too.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just finished the job. It's a company I do work for. I mean, sometimes you gotta wait on the payment. So
I know. We're waiting on this one. Should I let him do this? Hold on. When did this start? I started a long time ago. I was like 20.
man, trust me, I know. I can't wait till it's over.
Me either. we are in agreement on a lot of things. All right, look.
Oh yeah. Definitely a lot of agreements. Oh my God. Watching from Ireland, saw Judge Simpson had to pop in for your Allen fix. Hey, that's all right, lady.
If I let you pay the 96 by the end of the year,
Yeah.
and then 200, you going to be able to do that?
Yes.
You sure? I mean,
I just
listen,
want to get it over with, Your Honor.
I know you want to get it over with, but you gotta, you need, and Ms. Valera's right. Tell me something you can do.
I could say 100, but if I get more, of course, I'll pay more.
What can you do, young man? That's, I don't want you to have to run in here all the time saying I couldn't do X because of whatever.
Okay.
What do you think you can do?
150 a month.
Where he picked that? See, this is what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Well,
I
come
want to
on,
pay
you
the most
asked
I
him.
can, but
What?
I feel like 200 is reasonable for me.
You think you can do that to 200?
Yes.
All right.
All right, 200 a month. It is.
You think
Judge
he'll do
Simpson.
it?
He's
You're wrong
asking,
every time. No.
asking Deputy Allen.
All right.
Oh, I love it. Always need a little
To
bit of
pay
humor.
96 by December 30th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Then $200 per month beginning in January.
There we go. Was it that hard?
Okay. All right. Let's get this done and get it over with.
Sir.
All right. You take care of yourself. Have a good holiday.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Here we
I wanted to
go.
hold you in contempt. Good morning, welcome to Conneaut Municipal Court. My name is Nick Irochi. I'm the judge, and this is your initial appearance hearing on traffic-related charges filed against you. As you can tell, we have several students here from the Conneaut Middle School. They are here every Tuesday morning as part of My Day in Court. It's in its 36th year of operation. It's the longest running court student program in Ohio, and sponsored by our local Conneaut Rotary Club. They're here to observe proceedings only. I'm going to read all of you your rights, and then when I'm done reading you your rights, I will call your case up individually. When I call your case up, you can take a seat in this first blue chair. If you have any questions regarding the rights I'm about to read to you, you can ask them at the time I call your case up, and then we'll address the charge or charges filed against you. So please pay attention to the rights I'm about to read to you. You do have a right to a copy of the complaint filed against you. In traffic court, that complaint is the officer's citation. If you did not receive a copy of that, let me know, and I'll make sure you get a copy of that at the time.
Yeah, Middleton's good too. I like Middleton.
Also, you have a right to be informed of and to understand the nature and the elements of the charge or charges filed against you. You also have a right to know the potential penalties that could be imposed, and I will explain those potential penalties to you when I call your case up. If you are convicted of a traffic-related offense, a record of conviction will be sent to the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles and will become part of your driving record. Points may be assessed against your license for any moving violation. You have a right to remain silent and not to say anything during this hearing that might incriminate yourself.
In other words,
Any
shut
statement
the
you make
hell
could be
up.
used against you. You also have a right to a trial in court.
I don't know who this judge is.
Now, each of you have 3 plea options available with respect to each of the charges filed against you. You can either plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead guilty, that is a complete admission by you to the offense charged. If you plead guilty, the court will find you guilty, and then I will impose sentence. The second option is you can plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, that is a denial by you to the offense charged. And as I said earlier, if you plead not guilty, I will set your case for further proceedings after today, and I will set a bond. The third option is you can plead no contest. If you plead no contest, that is not an admission of your guilt, but it is an admission by you of the truth of the facts alleged in the complaint filed against you. If you enter a plea of no contest, this court will find you guilty, and I will impose sentence.
Well, he's going to go
without
off
any
on them,
evidence
from what I
being presented
understand.
against you. However, the plea of no contest cannot be used against you in any later civil or criminal proceedings. Court is now calling City of Conneaut versus Amber McHenry, case number 24 TRD 819.
Should be good. Should be good.
Ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this stuff situated so it's ready here.
Take a seat
I have a question.
in this blue chair.
Do I have?
Sit down.
Do I have the same
You
rights?
want me to hold you in contempt? Sit down in that blue chair.
Do I have? The
Sit
same
down.
rights there?
One more time. Sit down.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Now you'll
This is
answer
not the
my
attitude.
questions. Got it? Did you understand all of the rights and plea options that I explained to you?
No, I do not understand.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I will enter no plea to the charges
I
filed against you. Well, let me just explain to you.
Can't object,
You are
sweetheart.
charged,
That's not how it
and
works.
I do have a signature on the citation which shows you've been served. You are charged with 1 count of no operator's license, a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 plus court costs. You also are charged with 1 count of expired plates, also a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 in court costs. I will enter no plea to these charges against you. You already have a pending. You already have a pending.
I object
What do you object, Ms. Ma'am?
because I did not enter that plea.
Okay, so you tell me how you would like the plea: guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
I'm not. First, I have to correct the standing, which is I am not the ens legis non begetter. I am the authorized agent to the decedent estate. I am coming in here as the settler, and I want to settle this case. I have sent in a paper that is my declaration and affidavit of what I want to do, which is to settle the case. I am willing to surrender the person to the court for mutual consideration. I do not want to continue doing this. I don't have anything to do with this. That paper that I signed, which is the summons, is signed v coatis, which is void contract, and I reserved all of my rights on there. So is the court willing to give me mutual consideration today or not?
I will enter no plea on your behalf to these charges. I've given you 3 plea options to plead.
No, I do not recognize anyone in this court.
Okay, well.
I don't recognize you or the bailiff or anybody else in this court. I do not understand.
I will set this case for a bench trial, and
No,
we'll get this set.
I have the right to a trial by jury.
Okay, no, you don't, not in this case.
Yes.
Now, these are not jailable offenses, ma'am. You don't have a right to a trial by jury in this case. You already have a jury trial scheduled in another case, but then because you're facing jail time in that case. But in this case, you're not facing jail time, only a fine and
Anything that is above $25 in a court of law has the right to a jury by trial, which is involuntary. Involuntary can't be violated, basically, is what it means. So I have the right to a jury by trial
No, you don't.
of my peers.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
We're gonna set it for trial, and you're gonna go to the clerk's window, and they're gonna give you a trial date, okay? So,
Then I'm just gonna surrender the person to the court, because I'm not coming back.
I don't know what that means.
You do know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I am not an enslavis, non-beguer. I
Yeah,
told you
I
that.
don't know what that means either, ma'am. I've been practicing law for 36 years, and what you just said to me has no meaning to me whatsoever. So,
Great.
yeah.
So
Ma'am, if you don't leave the courtroom, and if you don't go to the clerk's window to get a trial date, I'll have you arrested and hold you in contempt of court.
With what contract?
There is no contract.
I know
You're
there's
looking at the contract. You're looking at the one who's going to be able to, has the authority to be able to put you in jail and I'll hold you in contempt. So let me say it one last time, because we have other cases to handle today. If you don't leave the courtroom and go to the clerk's window and get a trial date, which is what I'm scheduling in this case, I will hold you in contempt of court and I'll have you arrested.
So contempt of court for what? What contempt?
For not doing what I'm telling you to do, which is to go to the clerk's window and to get a trial date.
You're the trustee and I'm the beneficiary.
No, there is no trust relationship here.
No, there isn't.
I've drafted many trusts, and there is no trust relationship between the judge and you, the defendant.
Yeah, because
You are not the beneficiary, and nor am I the trustee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just not how it works, man.
It
Not how it works. You either go to the clerk's window now and get a trial date, or I'll have you taken into custody now. You got it?
Is this your phone?
That judge was not going to play. Yeah, came out hot. Well, he was a little ticked off about it. So I was going to read this the other night when I started reading it with MG Law. Really good. So this is the Bless America. This is the Sarah Boone. This is a Sarah Boone letter to the judge. And it is it's pretty damn hilarious. Have you guys seen this one yet? You're gonna love it. Oh. And if you guys stick around long enough, we'll watch a little bit of the Shara tape. That one's pretty good too. So just bear with it. December 6th, 2024. Mr. He's a judge, but she's an idiot. Mr. Michael Kranick. I'm enclosing, please, my complete statement to you and to the world as I partially read during my sentencing hearing. We need some music for this. That's what we need. We need to have a little bit of music with us. That's what I'm thinking. Let's get a little bit of happy music. Let's see. No. Maybe I've got it over here. Maybe this is where it is. Nope, that's not it. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. To you and the world, as I partially read during my sentencing hearing, by my reserving particular parts of my very true and meaningful statement, I was hoping to have been graced with your forgiveness, understanding, and consideration in any level or degree. For me, unfortunately, and regardless of whom I had speak on my behalf, for the number of your ignorant mind was already made up by your clear error and full-blown unfair bias against me, since your involvement in my crucible case was a whole. I have been unsuccessful in receiving anything from you as supposed fair and neutral judge, except for your wish that I spend the rest of my life in prison. Please know and always remember, Mr. Kranick, I forgive you still and sincerely. Please understand also the judge, according to Cicero, is never to lose sight that he is simply a man and that he cannot exceed the power given to him by his commission. Not that only power, but public confidence has been given to him, and that he ought to always be very seriously to attend, not to his wishes, but to the requisitions of law, of justice, and religion. Sic pro cluentis. I'm excited in my appeal, which speaks for itself. My case law as well, is which I am extremely proud to have achieved and will continue doing so now that I am no longer in your corrupt court and free from your malevolent judicial grip. Sarah Boone versus State of Florida. Oh my God. And somebody was, and that's what it was, is I want to say that Sarah Boone had some sort of reading in her court case. And that particular one was pretty interesting. If I'm not mistaken, it was just recently that she did a hearing whenever she was sentenced. An interrogation video, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was in this one. Where is it? Or did I already save it? I think maybe you already saved it. Let me double check. I think I've got it here somewhere, because I was, a lot of stuff happened about the time that I was going through all of that, and I wasn't able to go in and see what exactly she said. Now, whenever I was talking with MG, he said that there was her reading of it was just absolutely mind-boggling. Like, she was so wrong. Let's see if I can find this. So this was Florida versus Sarah Boone. Motions. Where is it? I'm pretty sure. Florida versus Sarah Boone. Yeah. Copy. We'll pull this up here. Paste. Is that doing it? Look on it. Hate when that happens. You try copying something down and it goes wonky on you. Florida versus Sarah Boone. There we go. Copy that and post that up there. Go. And I've been meaning to get to this, the sentencing portion of it. Yeah. So it was the sentencing. And let's get to, all right, let's get to the sentencing portion of it, because I have been wanting to watch this forever. I'm so glad you guys are entertaining me with this. It was this for sentencing, but her counsel wouldn't leave her read the full letter, which is This is what it is. Okay.
We can proceed with those first, sir.
Yeah, I was so busy in the middle of all this, I wasn't able to do it. It's what she really means. Yeah.
Please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us? Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
I just want to tell Sarah Boone that I don't hate her for what she did. And I always remember that evening when that lady came into my door and she knocked at the door. And she asked for my name. I tell her my name. And then she said, "Can I come in?" I said, "Okay, yes." And she told me to sit down. I never think that was gonna be my son. And then she said my son was dead. Since that day,
Yeah,
I
mom.
can sleep.
Mom's pretty rough.
It's hard for me to remember that moment. My son is not here no more. She don't only kill my son, she killed a father, a brother, an uncle. It's been hard on my family because all the brothers, they will always work together. But now it's like something real. Love is missing. Sometimes when I look out the window, I'm waiting for him to come and say, "Mom, I love you." She was always there. She called and called me. I miss that mommy. The last time that I talked to him was at 12 o'clock in January, New Year. He came to my bed and said, "Mom," he woke me up and I said, "Mom, I love you. Happy New Year." And since that day, I don't see him no more.
Thank you.
He was my son. I love him. And I miss him a lot. And my family miss him a lot too. But I don't hear her. But you know what? I was blessed. She ain't gonna be blessed like me because I have my son. I raised him. I have his children, my granddaughter, my grandson, and she don't gonna be able to have that. And I did. I raised him. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good son. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. State anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Wow.
You make all your next victim impact statement.
Victoria Torres.
Wow.
I did.
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Victoria Torres. My name is Victoria Torres. George is my brother.
Wow.
Unfortunately, my family has experienced two horrifying tragedies. I just want to make it clear that George deserves justice. As far as my other brother and Sarah, deserve to rot in jail.
Oof. Like, no mercy,
Sarah, that
just
sounds
rot
like
in jail.
a lifetime of horrible images. A lifetime of hearing my brother George plead for his life. This is just this moment for all of you. For me and my family, it's forever. Such a simple thing as using a suitcase is so triggering. I try not to close it all the way. I leave at least like 2 or 3 inches for the zipper.
Oh, man.
And it might sound crazy, but it just helps me. She really has flipped
Nice.
my family's life
Very
upside
nice.
down.
Just on.
And I just hope that we can truly
Taco
get justice for
Wednesday.
my brother.
Nice, nice, nice.
And I just want to tell the team, thank you so much for everything they did. Thank you.
Thank you. State anything further?
It wasn't hard.
Thank you.
Sarah's horrible.
Your Honor, could we see if Ms. Anna Torres is able to make it online?
Do not see an Anna Torres in the lobby, sir. I have lots of guests, HHSA, Mr. Beck, Lana Albert, Jason Gunn.
Love you, Just Don. You guys are awesome.
The number of individuals.
Not to my knowledge.
Could we just have just a moment?
Yes.
I think this is the right intro that I have here for this. I think this is the right one. Bear with me a second. Something funky is going to happen. Yep, that's the right one. Ha, 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 ha. Before she gets up, I'll do her nice little intro. Ha, ha, ha. Yes, I will. Let's see. I think this is the one. There we go. That works. Ah. Sometimes it takes a little while to get in there. Oh, come on now. Stop playing around.
Yes, sir.
Is that it? Is that who it is? All right, ma'am, good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Okay, could you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Ana Victoria Torres, ANAVICTORIA
Thank you, ma'am. I understand that you'd like to provide a statement to the court at this time. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be speaking for myself and my 2 siblings. The murder of our father has impacted us on so many levels and in different ways. I myself, for the first year, would wake up screaming every morning or night, wishing I was having a nightmare, only to wake up to remember all over again that my father is gone and I'll never be able to hear him say he loves me ever again. So no, my siblings have been affected in such a way that they are now different. They have had a piece of their heart ripped away from them, all while her son gets to hear his mother's voice and see her alive. It's pathetic. Because of you, Sarah, my sister is heartbroken. Because of you, Sarah, my brother is left wondering when he will ever see his father again. The loss of my father has left me with chronic depression and anxiety. Seeing any moments of fatherly love or kindness being shown between others in real life or even on TV leaves me in complete shambles. Seeking therapy was a must in order to navigate through my workday without a random breakdown. Thoughts of my father's demise still enter my mind ever so often. I'm left either angry, sad, or sick to my stomach to think of how his final moments were. George Torres, my incredible father. Not only was he my father, but my best friend. My personal comic provided me with wisdom and knowledge, creative and loving dad, an older brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a son, and above all, our father. He was human and deserved to be treated as such. My father, George Torres, was one of a kind, an absolute gem. Unfortunately, his light was dimmed on earth by evilness, but with us, we will forever make his name live on. Especially Sarah, I pray that you see his face when you see him at night. That is it.
Thank you. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further of this witness?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No other impact statements, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other witnesses or evidence at this point in time, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Owens, you may proceed, sir.
Ms. Diane Smith. Judge, what do you want?
How
I
about
have
to get
no
the
issue
hell,
with her
sit down.
being at the podium. If you want to move about the well to conduct your examination, that's fine, counselor. Ma'am, come on up. Come on up to this podium right here, ma'am. If you could, raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in. Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Diane Smith, Diane Smith.
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor, you may inquire.
And Ms. Smith, tell the court a little bit about you.
I was a chaplain at the 33rd Street Jail for 30 years.
And have you been a chaplain at the jail here in Orange County?
Yes, Orange County Jail
Is
for
that the same
for
jail
30
you
years.
referred to? Okay. And during that period of time, did you have occasion to meet with Sarah Boone?
I did.
And was it over the course of how long?
I've known her 4 years.
And if you could, tell the court what you'd like to say.
Okay. Well, I first met Sarah. She came in, we have a Christian dorm, and Sarah enrolled in our Christian program. And she was in my classes for a year. And she was very sincere in her efforts to change her life and to be a better person. And I found her very helpful. She was kind and good to people. She loved to serve. And she helped the new girls that would come in, the younger girls. She would mother them and be very kind and very helpful. And then after she graduated from the program, I was her counselor for the other 3 years. And I always found her, very sincere and, trying to do better. I spoke with many inmates that knew her and was associated with her. And they spoke very highly of her and said that, she was helpful and kind and tried to help
She's
other
going to have
people.
plenty of time to do that.
I just found her to be, very sincere and trying to be a very good person and change and help people.
Was the Bible involved at all?
Oh, yes, it was all spiritual. Yes, it was spiritual growth plus character, growth and character, trying to just be a better person in general. She liked to serve other people, she would help. the
Yeah,
girls wash
usually
their
the
clothes and
suitcase.
send them around and teach, but
Yeah, she'll
spiritually.
serve you just in a
she was
suitcase.
Very, very great spiritually.
Hang on, ma'am, just one second.
PO2.
Hang on just one second, Ms. Smith. State any questions.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
I'd like to call Christina
Keep
Pena.
suitcases.
Is on you.
Yes, fine, counselor. Thank you.
All right.
Ma'am, come on up if you can. Raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Ma'am, if you could state and spell your name for the record for us.
Christina Pena, Christina
All right, you may inquire, sir.
How old are you?
31,
And where do you live?
Orlando.
Now, it's my understanding, Ms. Pena, that you were in the county jail with Sarah Boone.
Yeah.
Oh.
How long were y'all in the same cell together?
Yes, I was in there for 4 years, but we were together for 3.
Okay. And I understand ultimately the charges against you were dismissed? And so you were released on what day?
April 4th this year.
2024?
2023.
2023, so you've been out for a pretty while.
I've been out for like 6 or so months now. Yeah, since April
Okay.
of this year, actually, sorry.
April of 2024.
Mm.
And
Wonder what she
you said
did.
Y'all were bunkmates there together for about 3 years.
Yeah.
I would assume that y'all got to know each other pretty well.
We did.
Okay. And if you'd like to speak
Yep.
on behalf of the judge.
Thank you, Welsh.
Sarah's one of my best friends, my only.
You take your time.
She's helped me a lot. Spiritually and like growing and she helps everybody. She's always, I don't know, she helped me a lot and she would
That's
come to
because you
me,
weren't
she'd
inside
talk
a
to me all the
suitcase
time,
and she hadn't been
pick me
drinking.
up when I was down or if I didn't know something, she
She was a know-it-all.
She was a good person to me. She just, mistakes happen. She always helped. She always helped people.
Mistakes
She was always
happen.
helping everybody in the dorm.
You left a guy
did,
locked in a
her
suitcase.
artwork, she did art. If anybody needed any help or needed anything, they'd come to her and she'd help them. And even if they, did wrong to her, she would still go back and help them and praise with them and pray over them and everything. It's just
She still locked the guy in a suitcase.
So was she a little bit older than you?
Yeah.
How much
It's a
older?
restitution.
40, in her 40s.
Did you think of her as maybe an aunt or a big sister? What
A big
was?
sister, yeah, she was like a big sister. It's like a sister I never had.
Oh yeah, big
It's like
sister,
I
huh?
have brothers, so I never. We clicked right away. I don't know. We'd be walking out in the backyard, and she just would always try and talk to me. But I'm a quiet person, and I don't trust a lot of people. So for me to open up and trust somebody, it's a lot. So.
Obviously, they are difficult circumstances. Did she assist you in getting through that?
Yes, and she helped me a lot with my my case, and I would help her with with hers too. We're both. Justice is not what it is. I don't know how.
Bless you.
We both helped each other out. I don't know.
Ms. Pena, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any questions, State?
No, Your
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Ms. Hill? Judge?
Yes, sir.
After Ms. Hill, I want to thank Ms. Albert.
Yes, sir.
She still killed somebody. Oh.
I do.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
My name is Mariela Hill, Mariela, last name Hill, Hill.
Thank you. You may proceed, sir.
Ms. Hill, briefly tell us a little bit about yourself.
I met Sarah in jail. I spent 3 months in jail and went through a lot of unfortunate circumstances myself.
All right, now, this was in the Orange County Jail here in Orlando?
Orange County Jail.
And
Yeah,
when was
I
that?
agree with you,
Do you recall the date?
Heidi.
Yes, it was April, from April to June of this year,
Of this year,
2024,
2024.
correct, yes.
And did you develop a relationship with Sarah Boone over the course of that 3 months?
Yes, yes.
Oh, we're lovers?
We met when I was moved to the B dorm, and I needed help with a form that I needed to complete, and one of the CEOs pointed to Sarah to help me out. And since that moment, we became really good friends, and she was so helpful, so kind, so respectful and loving, not just to me, but to everyone. And I have nothing but good things to say about her character.
She'll love you to death, man.
How deep her faith is, her faith in God and believing in justice for everyone.
Oh, so she believes in justice.
State any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hill. I appreciate it.
We love munching carpet together.
Ms. Albert, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me? This is Judge Cranick. And if you can, I would ask you to turn on your camera and unmute yourself at this time, please.
Sir, how do I unmute turn on my camera? I know how to unmute, but I'm not sure how to turn the camera on.
Turn the volume down.
So, ma'am,
Is that better?
when you join the link, there should have been an option for like a pull down on the left-hand side of the screen for you to open out or turn on a camera. I don't know what device you're appearing on, if it's a cell phone or a laptop.
It is an iPhone. Should I try to re-enter the room?
Yeah, try to do that. There should be an option for you to pick a camera. You'll either select the default camera and hopefully we'll be able to see you at that time.
Okay, let me just give me 1 second.
1 hour later. Just like or is it more like this?
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, that or his dudeness or duder or.
Did that work? Can you see me?
El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Shoot. Yeah, it's saying default camera. It's saying front camera. I chose it. It didn't show my face or anything like that.
My technological skills are limited. State?
I have no objection to the witness making their statement here telephonically.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, Miss Albert, good afternoon. If you could just state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Certainly. Lana, Lana, Albert, Albert.
Okay. All right, Mr. Owens is going to ask you some questions. And if you could just answer them, ma'am, I would greatly appreciate it. Sir, you can proceed.
Yeah, it was David.
Ms. Albert, do you have the ability to turn your volume down?
Yes, I just did. I can't hear you very well when I do that, though.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but very, very quietly.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I okay?
Yeah,
about now?
you sound a lot better. You were too loud earlier.
Oh, this is the
Okay.
first time
Can
he's
you hear me
decided to
okay?
speak into a microphone.
I can hear you.
All right, Miss Albert, tell the court a little bit about yourself briefly.
Well, I live in Minnesota. I currently have end-stage renal disease. Before I became disabled, I was a business owner in the Twin Cities here.
All right, and how old are you?
I am 50 years old.
All right, and you're considered disabled?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yeah, you've
And
got
have you
renal
had an
failure.
occasion
Yeah,
since
that's
this
pretty
event
disabling.
to establish a relationship with Sarah Boone?
Yes, I have. We have been friends for the past a little over 11 months.
And how do y'all communicate?
We've communicated a lot of phone calls, lots of tablet back and forth, and a lot of letters as well. I'd say
Pen
many,
pals.
many, many hours of time spent with each other.
All right, and do you want to speak on her behalf here today?
I would, please.
All right, would you please tell the court what you would like for the court to know?
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Your Honor, for the privilege of speaking on behalf of my friend Sarah Boone. I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to everyone here affected by this terrible tragedy, which has brought us all here and listening in.
Oh, boy.
Many, many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs.
Oh,
Opinions that have been formed and commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character.
That's because she's been acting like a comic book or a fictional character. Because of her foolishness is what got her here in the first place. And yeah, murder. Exactly. Not saying that Sarah doesn't have some sort of feelings somewhere inside there, that there isn't some sort of goodness in her, but her actions caused the death of somebody. And, she deserves every bit of mockery, angst, anger, all of that. How many webs are there? There's only one interwebs that I know of. Only one interwebs that I know of.
In the case of my friend Sarah, the words narcissist, Karen, villain,
Yes.
many other things.
Yes.
They
Yes.
roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And
No, it's not dismissed flippantly. It's because she showed no remorse and believes that her killing this person is not her fault. Okay. So, sorry that you're suffering renal failure, but that doesn't excuse her and her actions. I mean, she murdered a man. Simple as that. Doesn't get any more cut and dry than that. By her actions, someone died. And as soon as you realize and get that through your thick skull, it becomes very clear that she shows no remorse for doing that. Doesn't matter how she feels that it wasn't her fault. Feelings have nothing to do with that she killed somebody.
And under a lot of circumstances, I was one of those people, as I have a love of true crime. And becoming friends with Sarah has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. I'd like to share with the world and with the court about the Sarah.
Fox Raid. Welcome, Fox Raiders. How's it going? Fox Raid. Sir Frank. Fox Raid. Good to see you, Lindsay. Good to see you. Oh, snap. Oh, yeah. There you go. Look at that raid. All you fine people, make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way in. Hit it hard. Make it feel so good. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Hey, Faye Ann. Hey, guys. Hello. Good to see you, Megan, Fox, Raid, Megan, Tug. Good to see all you wonderful people. Oh, yes. Doesn't it feel nice and warm in here? Just nice and cozy. All nice and smooth. It just gets right in there. Oh my gosh. Yes. Fox Red. Hello, all you fine people. Hello. Good to see you. Glad you could make it in here. man, you guys are so welcome to come in and hang out, watch a little bit of Sarah Boone in her final philandering hours here. Good to see you, Fox Raiders. You guys are so welcome to be here. You have no idea. Your love and support is so welcome. So welcome. I'm glad to have each and every one of you here. Yes. You guys are awesome. It's going to be a crazy night. Yes, sir, indeed. Don't worry. Yes, Meg and Tug. Yes. Hey, Amy, how's it going? Yes. Ruku, mama. How you doing there, little sister? How's it going? Yes, indeed. Long time. Yeah, it has been a long time, Elephant. Yeah, it's been a very long time. Hey, Heather May, good to see you. Stacy, yes, Stacy Schmidt. Let all you guys get in here and just come on in. The water is warm. And we're about to get nice and cozy here. We're speeding through this the sentencing of this bit of a psychopath here. I mean, it's already been a little while since she's been sentenced, but I haven't seen this. And her witness statement is going to be impressive. Welcome. It's so good to see every single one of you. It's absolutely wonderful that you guys can make it in. Wonderful. Welcome. Yeah, she is an absolute nut job. Yes, happy to have you here, East Texas Cowboys, Cindy Brown. Oh yes, this is beautiful. We're taking it easy tonight. We do have her. Yes, I'm with you on that. Rest in peace, Jeff. That is a big rough one for a lot of folks. It was a big one for a lot of folks, and it's unfortunate that we lost a good one. It's unfortunate we lost a good one, and it's that's how it goes. That's how I wish I would have gotten to know Jeff a little bit more. It is unfortunate, very unfortunate, but I think that you guys being there for Megan and all of the friends that he made over the years, I think that right there is it says a lot for the community, and I hope that Jeff hits that 100K posthumously. I really do. I really hope that he hits that thing. If he does, that'll be great. I mean, in the YouTube's hitting 100K, get him that nice bucket, that nice button. I think that would make him really happy. I think it'd make him really happy. Sarah Airtight shut her case up in a suitcase. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She was buku crazy. Buku crazy. But we are going to continue on with this, and we're going to get to her witness statement, because this lady reading to her is some sort of true crimer. Always is. Yeah, gotta love the true crimers.
Sarah Boone that I know. Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person. The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves animals, especially the kind who are damaged and defenseless. How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing impaired and a sight impaired pair of dogs? She has a natural instinct to help reach out and give of herself. Her time and energy and love, especially to those who are hurting or damaged. You all have seen her fight for her own life and truth here.
No.
I tell you this, she fights even harder for those she loves, giving time, attention, and companionship without a single thought for her own gain or what somebody can do for her.
Until
And
they
one
can't
huge
get out of a
example is in the
suitcase.
matter of our friendship. As I said before, I have end-stage renal disease caused by a genetic illness called polycystic kidney disease. As my life has progressed, things I have taken for granted have been taken away from me. I could not appear in court in person because I can no longer walk, as my dialysis treatments have affected the circulation of my legs and has confined me to a wheelchair. To say that my life has radically changed is an understatement. Through it all, I have many friends and family I love and cherish. Sarah has distinguished herself differently in this way. In the course of getting to know her, I started sharing the progressing state of my health. It was like lightning.
Don't care.
The moment Sarah had learned the depth of my struggles health-wise, she straight up offered strenuously to donate a kidney to me. I got to tell you this. I hope she's not mad for me showing this, but she had no hesitation, no concern over personal risk or personal gain. I want to convey to this out and around the world that is merely offering is a good and heroic act. I've had many friends. I've not had one outside of my brother who has offered me a kidney. That is huge. I don't have anything of equal value to
That's
give
how
to
it
her.
goes.
And that's not the actions of a narcissist. She did it as
yeah,
a
it
reflex
is.
action as a good person. After the
Yeah,
verdict came
she's-
in October, we spoke that night.
It's a world traveler.
And I hope Sarah doesn't get mad at me again for disclosing this, but out of all the shock and seriousness of what had happened in the court, the thing that made her emotionally break was that she realized she could no longer be a donor to me. I mean, I was sitting there like, hey, you know, it's going to be okay. But she was so broken up, she couldn't help me. That's a friend. She is not,
yeah.
nor does she
Yeah,
come up
she has
anywhere
blinders on.
remotely close to being a narcissist.
Yeah, she is.
And one more thing before I go.
And you know, here's the thing. You lock someone in a suitcase, you mock them, you hit them with a baseball bat. For all we know, she pushed the guy down the stairs in the suitcase. And then go upstairs without a second thought. You record not one, but 2 videos of him. And then take your happy ass upstairs and pass out. Wake up sometime in the afternoon, almost 12 hours later. And then go, I didn't mean to. That's not how it works. That's not how it works in the real world. That's, yeah, she did it. Yeah, yes, but did she give it or just want the attention? I don't know. What the hell's wrong with that lady? Well, you have to understand. Here's the problem. The lady that's over there, she's way too into the true crime. And there's some people that get really involved in true crime and can, you know, it's their way or the highway kind of thing. And that can get really dangerous because they do put blinders on. They don't think critically. This is really what's going on with Boone.
Social media has worked to rip the blindfold off of Lady Justice, to take the sword out of her right hand and start.
Social media has nothing to do with it.
However, the scales are the balance.
That's not how it works. Social media has nothing to do with the way that the jury adjudicated her. They found her guilty. And it wasn't it wasn't it wasn't this long drawn out in there for deliberating for 3 or 4 days. It was pretty much they went in there and they found her guilty and walked back out. It was a very short period of time. Yeah, the narcissist will make you feel like you were in the wrong. Exactly. We're seeing some of that in other places. Hey, how's it going, Sassy? Welcome from Megan Tug, Sassy J in the UK. Love that. That's wonderful. Wonder who got the dogs. I hope somebody's taking care of the pups. I'm more concerned about the pups than this lady that's a psychopath. Megan Fox, we promise to behave. No. What are you thinking? Hey, Megan, trust me. They don't have to behave. They're good here. They're actually, you have one of the most well-behaved groups. I'll probably corrupt them for you. Yes.
As it says in Psalm 85, mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Justice isn't justice without mercy. Our pursuit of righteousness isn't complete and right without peace. Thank you, Your Honor, for the honor of speaking for my friend Sarah Boone. I hope that your justice
Sarah Boone's
mixed with mercy
pups,
here today.
I'm sure they're just fine.
Any questions? Any follow-up, Mr. Owens?
And Jeff's
No, Judge.
dogs are being taken
Thank you.
care of also.
Ms. Albert, I appreciate you.
All right.
I'd like to call
Looks
Dr.
like
Harper. You want her on the stand or?
Dr. Harper. Yeah, don't care.
Often including depression, anxiety, and
Yeah, don't care.
And that would include 8 interviews.
I don't care about Dr. Harper because Dr. Harper has an agenda. That agenda was to say that Sarah Boone was abused We all saw the videos. We all saw how abusive that she was to George Torres. Those weren't taken out of context. That was her recording, her abusing him, belittling him, telling him he was garbage, being an absolute bitch to him. We all saw that. I do not even want to hear Dr. Julie Harper. She could just go hit a brick wall somewhere. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the intro for Sarah Boone because she's about to get up. Oh yeah, Sarah Boone's about to get up, and I'm going to have to do it. I got to do the intro. Got to do the intro. So it's going to get loud. It's going to get really loud. Cover your ears. Here it comes. Here it comes. 3, 2.
Small and tight, not like you. Sarah's laugh rings through the night. Such a brute, drunk and silly, thought she'd play. Crazy witch, locked me in just for the day. Life's a bitch. Can't you hear me, Sarah, please? Hook ass bitch, out of air, my lungs they squeeze. Let me out, you witch, this is not a funny joke. You put your hands around my throat, feeling trapped and nearly choke. Gonna croak. Can't you hear me, Sarah, please? Hook ass bitch, out of air, my lungs they squeeze. Let me out, you witch, this is not a funny joke. You put your hands around my throat, feeling trapped and nearly choke. Gonna croak. Sarah, let me out, I'm begging. Please, you can stop, I'm almost begging. Please, someone don't leave me here. Lost my hair, in this case I disappear. Are you there? I'm dark and tight, I curl and wait. Are you passed out? You'd return my fate. You empty my stash out. The game has turned to cruel. Why are you filming late? Inside I feel the fool. I can't breathe. Wasn't meant to be my night, hiding in the suitcase tight. Sarah's giggles fade away, leaving me as her castaway. Sarah, let me out, I'm begging, please. You can stop, I'm almost begging, please. Pray someone don't leave me here. Lost my hair, in this case I disappear. Are you there? Boom. Looking tight, I curl and wait. You passed out, hoping you return my fate. Empty my stash out, stupid game has turned to cruel. Are you feeling me? Lost inside, I feel the fool, I can breathe. Wasn't meant to be my night, hiding in the suitcase tight. Sarah's giggles fade away, leaving me as a castaway. Sarah, let me out, I'm begging, please. And please, breathing stuff, I'm almost begging. Please, breathe so long, don't leave me here. Lost my air, in this year, in this case I disappear. Are you there? Are you there? Sarah, oh, 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 Sarah, oh.
I had so much fun making that video. It was just right on the money. Stepping away from the keyboard when Psycho Sarah takes the stand. Sorry, Aussie. I have not seen this yet. I honestly have not had the time to stop and even watch it. Yeah, so sorry for anybody that this may disturb. It's gonna be. I've got sped up a little bit because. From what I understand, it's pretty bad.
You've been previously sworn. You may inquire, sir.
Would you state your name again?
Sarah Boone.
Now, this is
Same
unlike
thing.
a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter that you want to read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that. Why don't you go ahead and speak?
This is actually an edited version of
An edited version.
I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper. And I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial. And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintu sukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu sukuroi. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable. Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter. As the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you have, and when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with George Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat, or destroy. I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day, for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over, for breaking or removing the locks from.
So how many times do you think he kicked in that back door? I think he kicked in that back door a few times. I think she left. No, I won't go into that.
All of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose.
And I've seen the pictures. That did not look like he did that to her. Is the music fitting? I think the music is fitting. I think it fits really well. Oh my God. She is so insufferable. God.
For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friend.
See, I said he kicked in the back door a few times. Yeah, she is nuts. She is completely nuts.
friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave.
Oh, what was
For
me?
stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested. For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his
Probably.
matters intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him.
Yeah, I
For
agree.
causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity, for my M for murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was, capable of, and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help.
Oh. That right there is such bullshit. That right there is absolute bullshit. None of that has to do with her locking him in a damn suitcase, beating him with a baseball bat, probably throwing him down some stairs in a suitcase, beating him with a baseball bat, recording it as she mocked him, and then left him there to die. Any point in time, she could have walked out of the situation, walked away from the situation. But we've seen the videos. She was the instigator in all of this crap. So cry me a freaking sob story, lady. I don't buy it for a second. Not for a second. Not for a damn, even a millisecond, that she isn't the one that caused all of this crap. Yeah, she treated him like shit. She abused him. She was verbally, physically abusive to him. Yeah, locking him in a suitcase was not the first egregious act done, and by any means. So angering.
All of his siblings, including Pharrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive
so it's
them
her
for carrying
parents'
too
fault.
late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the times Sarah tried to, by asking for help, from all of us, and so many times.
What's up, brother?
Another great contributor
is
of
up?
my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole, and for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate, conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which condemned me in the court of global public opinion since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey
Oh my God. I've got to stop the music again because this is ridiculous. Social media didn't try and convict her. Social media had nothing to do with her locking a man in a suitcase and leaving him there to die. Social media had nothing to do with her being shit-faced drunk and beating him with a baseball bat and recording a man suffering and begging for his life. Social media had nothing to do with that. I don't need your forgiveness, Sarah Boone. Nobody else needs your forgiveness because you have no forgiveness to offer. Her family does not forgive you. Unfortunately, they say they do, but I would not blame them 1 second if they did not forgive you. Because not only did you run a deceased man's name through the dirt by publishing any bullshit like this, trying to get what, sympathy? God. So much I want to say. There's so much I want to say. And this is just, this woman is insufferable jackass. Oh. Just really would, so much I had to say. So much I have to say. We're just an absolute piece of garbage. Absolute piece of garbage.
Waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case.
No, because you did this to him.
I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them.
How was it depleted and poisoned? How was it depleted? How was your case depleted and poisoned? Tell me. You make these wild accusations. See, this attitude that she's got, the woe is me bullshit, reminds me of the same garbage that I'm seeing coming out of the toothless's mouth of woe is Michelle. Everybody's against Michelle. People are concerned. And what does it take before that concern turns into something more? Is it going to be more woe is me? Is it going to be more of this? Oh, look, we're going to have to raise some money because of all the stress has made the child sick. What's going to be the next grift that they use that child for? What's the next grift that they're going to run? You know, it's a woe is me bullshit attitude. And you know, I think people have gotten absolutely sick of this crap. People have this self-entitled attitude. Oh, well, my world was rough. Well, yeah, a lot of people had fucking rough lives, but that doesn't give you any right or any agency to go and take somebody else's life. God. She kicked the suitcase down the stairs. She beat him with a baseball bat. They already showed that. She locked him in a suitcase and left him in there for 11 hours, 12 hours. You know, it's just, yeah, Boone demanded her ex pay her alimony. I mean, it's all about her. It is all about her. And these assholes that are out there and wanting to, you know, support her in this stupid broad that gets up there and, you know, sorry that she's dying of fucking renal failure, but that's no excuse. Need to send her a Bubbles letter. I don't think it would do any good. I don't think she has the mental capacity to understand it. This is somebody that is so self-involved in their own drama, in their own bullshit, that no matter what you say, it's going to be somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never their own. There's no responsibility on her part. The only thing that she's going to say is, I'm sorry, I loved him so much. You know, there's so much I want to say. So much I want to say about this, about the Hale stuff that just ties into this. It's the same attitude that I see coming out of these fucking people, and it's ridiculous. The same attitude, this self-entitled attitude of everybody's out to get me. And you could sit there and show this proof to all of the little muffins out there, and they would still support it because they're that unwilling to admit that there is true fucking evil in the world. They're too scared that they're going to lose their little group. So they don't want to stand up to it. They'll double down on it. Calm. Usha.
Them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed, in my case, still no one knows me. In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally.
I don't know, a baseball bat to a guy in a suitcase is pretty fucking
For
bold.
being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse.
Except she attacked her husband. She attacked her husband numerous times because she was violent and aggressive.
I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since. Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs. Unfortunately, not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it and still. When I first came to jail, I put my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters, apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any of their grief and sadness. Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere.
I hope he
believe
haunts
because I
you
do still love
to the
him,
end of
think
your
him
days.
and miss his laugh the
I
most.
hope he haunts
In my
you
heart, I know
forever.
he is with me and
Ugh.
understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Cranick. To the entire planet, please forgive me. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration, for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me please to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my...
Oh, we've got the edited version. We've got the entire version we're going to read through tonight, too. This woman is relentless. It just really, it just ticks me off to no end that she has no remorse, no feeling about this whatsoever. None. No remorse at all. I'm gonna take just a 5-minute break so I don't punch my computer, because this is as aggravating as I've never heard anybody say such garbage in my life. Give me just 5 minutes. I'll be less than 5 minutes. I'll give you my morning break song. Just give me a minute.
Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dawn night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy kicks and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We talk and Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dawn night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. In Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive, where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dawn night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We type our hearts, we spam the love. Our chat rooms like a lit up club. Our chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. Ooh, yeah, we come together night and day. We laugh, we play in our own way. A family in a cyberspace, loving hearts in this virtual place. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream.
See, the most annoying part about this is I've known people like this personally, and it's the same damn language that I've heard time and time again, where it's not my fault, where they say it's everybody else's fault but mine. Life handed me a box of lemons and I tried to make lemonade out of it, and it just kept being more and more than I could handle. But they put themselves in these situations that they could have gotten out of at any point in time. Any point of time. And it just brings back years of I guess childhood trauma bullshit that just, whenever I hear this kind of bullshit come out of someone's mouth, it angers me to no extent. That's why it pisses me off whenever I hear these people defending Lynette, why you hear these people defending the toothless ones, because it's the same narcissistic bullshit. It's the same garbage. And it takes somebody being hurt to the point that they don't come back, that everyone goes, oh, I guess maybe all the signs were there. Woe is me now. And then they still will play the victim. They'll say, well, it's because social media drove me to do it, or whatever happens to be the excuse of the day. And that's all that this bullshit is with what you see going on with the Hales. They've got a PR fucking team that is out there running roughshod, and they should be absolutely fearing. They should be absolutely fearing the outcome. It's like they have no fucking soul. It's like something happened to them that just took their soul away and took away any sort of feeling, because they have so much hatred. You know, it's like the hatred that a woman has for her ex, or a husband has for their ex, where they would just rather watch them burn. And that's the kind of attitude that these people have towards Jeremy, this vitriol hatred. It's not just like, oh, I don't like him because of X, Y, or Z. No, they have this vitriol hatred where they want to see him completely destroyed. That right there is what pisses me off. And anybody that gets in their way of that hatred becomes a fucking target. And you don't have to like Jeremy, but for God's sakes, the kind of shit that he's having to go through because of these dumbasses, and they think that they're helping out in a situation, and they're not helping. They're helping themselves. I just don't understand this kind of crap. You know, and seeing her talk like this, it's the same language. It's just a different mouthpiece moving around. Listen to what she says. Does it sound anything different than the kind of crap you'll hear if something happens to that child? Can you see any difference in it? All the warnings are there. All the family was there saying, you know, they're calling her the fucking white devil. Not because she's white, not because they're racist, but because they see the kind of person that she is, the evil that she exudes, where the woe is me is already there. What does it take before something takes care of this issue? How many times did the cops show up? How many restraining orders were against him? How many restraining orders were against her? I mean, they were constantly going at it, battling it out. Until one day, she said, well, I guess I can't delete him one way. Might as well delete him another. Everything that she says that he was putting her through, I guarantee you that's what she was doing to him. Jesus.
Face and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long. For second chances, repentance and redemption, to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always, to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside, to help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others, to stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this: would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did? I am a survivor. Learn to
You're
do
a
good,
destroyer.
seek justice, rebuke
You're a death
oppressors,
destroyer of
defend the
worlds.
fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17, all-encompassing, protect the abused.
Oh, great.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering your thoughts, did you want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement, is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am, and that I
Evil.
did care for George, and that I do
Evil.
still love George. I know you know that we had very many good days, and I take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is
You killed somebody.
endless. It's everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed, except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person to see things differently and to understand things differently and to
She doesn't see anything differently.
not be weak and just try to protect yourself. And forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today, I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and
I hope
my
he
soul,
haunts you for the
as
end
he
of
and
your
I used to
days.
say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a
Except
moment.
you took
It
his
may be
away.
for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever. For
Forever.
everyone here
Forever.
and those who it matters to most. I am one of those who will experience this forever. I'm sorry.
Ever.
Words do not define my shame, and
But you have no shame.
I don't know what else it is that I can say and convey to the Torres
Good.
family how this happened,
But she is not going to take responsibility
the
for it.
ifs and whys and how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry.
Oh, what a garbage person.
Words cannot describe. And I hope that everyone can forgive me.
Well, good. Then
the
shut
Torres
up,
family
Kate.
most
Shut
of all,
your
and his daughters,
shut your cock
because I
gobbler
know
then.
what he meant to them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. and I ask for forgiveness.
Ms. Boone, I have just one or two questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak on it if you want or not. But this is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when you were brought up as a child, that you did have some spirituality in your family, some church, some religion.
Always.
But I understand that
She still, I guess she didn't take that to heart. This is not very unique in any way, except she is cray cray. Yeah, because she kept saying she went through how many people were there to defend her, and she ran through those probably like she'd been ran through before. See, that's something that they don't talk about, is while she was separated from her husband, living in her husband's house, she was going out to the bar and hooking up with all different kinds of men, all different kinds of women. She didn't care. She went out there and was going through, she was going through like boys and girls, men and women. She did not discern. She spread her legs for every single person that she possibly could. Self-serving, self-gratifying. And Brian was finally booted her out. And then she would come running back to him crying. See, these are the things that they don't talk about. It. Yeah, didn't know that part? Yeah. Yeah, that was brought up. Yeah, she was out hoeing around at the neighborhood bar. That's where she met George. And once that divorce was final, her husband sent her on her way. Yeah. No, that wasn't a Photoshop picture. That was a picture taken by a police officer, but it looked like it was makeup is what it looked like.
you got away from that. Did you have a chance?
Don't care.
Just 15 years in the Department of Corrections. It's 15 years in the Department of Corrections, but it's predicated on something. And the consideration that it's predicated on is the defendant
Thank you.
coming to court
Appreciate
and
you.
accepting responsibility for her actions. For her coming to court and saying, I am responsible for George Torres's death, and I accept the punishment that comes with it. That consideration was never given in this case. And because that consideration was never given in this case, the offer of 15 years in no way represents what this case is worth, or what George Torres's life is worth. That is an offer predicated on a particular circumstance, a circumstance of a first-time defendant accepting responsibility and giving every benefit of the doubt and coming to court and saying that they are ready to be punished. Those conditions were never met. So then we turn to this case, and we turn to this crime, and we turn to the actions of the defendant of taking the law into her own hands and murdering George Torres. She has never shown remorse for that. She didn't show remorse for that here today.
Nope.
She again painted herself as the victim.
Yep.
She's the victim of George Torres. She recounted the litany of evil deeds and mistreatments that he perpetrated upon her. She's the victim of George Torres's family. She's the victim of the police. She's the victim of social media. It's all about Sarah Boone. Everything's about Sarah Boone. about how she is the victim. But Sarah Boone sentenced every one of George Torres's loved ones to a life sentence. Just like she sentenced George Torres when he was in that suitcase.
Yes. Well put.
George Torres lived out his last nightmarish circumstance in that suitcase, begging to be let out for several minutes, which undercuts any argument that this was somehow unsophisticated. There was ample time and opportunity over and over for her to do something different, but she went forward with taking the law into her own hands and ensuring that George Torres was never getting out of there, while she went up to bed and went to sleep for hours on end. She can't say that she was in duress for the same reason. She was in such duress of George Torres that she goes upstairs and goes to sleep for 11 hours. Your Honor, there's been nothing
Is that better?
from the testimony of Dr. Harper either that establishes any type of diagnosis that would give this court a basis to downward depart. Dr. Harper has put blinders on to the fact that she has been incarcerated for 58 months. 58 months with the opportunity to receive mental health treatment, and the expert witness is absolutely incurious about what any of those records or diagnosis or anything that would have been there would have said. There is no valid basis for a downward departure in this case.
No, none at all.
She deserves a life sentence. Thank you.
Mr. Owens, response?
Just credit. First off, I want to thank you for taking the time to hear our side, hear the witnesses, and review the letters on Sarah Boone's behalf. We've all been here for this trial. We've all been here for other trials. We've all got some age on us. We've all got some life experience on us. And this is a unique case. This was a unique homicide. It was a unique death. And as we all know, a lot of these cases are not black and white.
But hers
Shades of
was.
gray.
There was no shades of gray on this.
And these crimes don't occur in a vacuum.
No, they occurred in a suitcase.
Generally, a history, especially involving a domestic couple, a history that comes into play that must be explored. And a lot of what Sarah Boone testified to here today probably happened behind closed doors.
Yeah,
And we all
she
know
did.
that
Yes.
Many times we do not know what happens behind closed doors between a man and a woman in their home, unless there is some reason for the neighbors or law enforcement or somebody else to get involved.
Which they did, and
That happened in this case.
she was the one that was the
So
aggressor.
gradually over time, as this event occurred, there was an investigation, and it was learned that there was a history of domestic violence involved
On her, from
these two
her.
parties. And what we learned was that physically there was violence, and there were photographs to establish that, as were introduced in the trial. And then there was testimony from experts.
Exactly.
Not only
Awesome.
the defense expert,
That's right,
Dr.
Jen.
Harper, that Sarah Boone was the victim, and she was a victim of intimate partner violence, but coupled with the fact that the state's expert testified on the stand at the trial that Sarah Boone was a victim of intimate partner violence, that she suffered from this domestic
No, she was the one that
spouse
caused it.
syndrome as the hands of George Torres. So there's two sides to it.
No, George weighed less than she did.
And in a domestic violence situation like that,
She weighed like 130 pounds. He
95% of the
weighed
women
about, I
get
think it
out
was
of that
108.
when violence starts to occur, they've either been raised a certain way,
Yes.
they have a certain self-esteem
Just like
about
she's getting
themselves,
off on watching the
or
family
they
suffer
refuse
because
to
of
put up
this.
with it, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that they can do better. But there is a small percentage throughout the country that, for whatever reason, mental health issues, addiction issues, whatever it is, it's complex. Financial reasons, children are involved, whatever. If you do any studying
Yeah,
on
he was
there are circumstances where there is a
skinny.
group of women, predominantly women, it can happen to men, but majority of the time it's a woman that gets caught in this cycle of what we term as intimate partner violence. And you'll heard the testimony about the cycle that occurs. It's over a period of time and it repeats itself, and you go through these phases. And a lot of times the victim's not a great historian at trying to articulate it. She tried to do it here today. And I think on Sarah Boone's behalf,
Don't care.
what has he done to her? Any loved one you see
Yeah,
in a
he didn't do
situation like
anything
that
to
is
her.
gonna run
Don't
and let
care
go.
because he's
So my
she's
thought was, obviously,
The court has had the opportunity to review the evidence and testimony that was presented at trial. The victim impact statements presented here today, the statements of character witnesses, both orally and in writing, Dr. Harper's report and testimony, the defendant's testimony, pre-sentencing investigation, the arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense. Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months, and 8 days, and the court costs are $418, a state prosecution fee of $100, a dirt fee of $50, and a PD. Oh, excuse me, we're not screwed.
I'm right.
So the total would be, would come up to $618.
All right, ma'am, the court costs and costs of prosecution are $618. Those will be liquidated to a civil judgment. You will be given credit time served of 4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You will have 30 days from today to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out. Similarly, I cannot appoint the regional conflict counsel to represent you for the same reasons. The clerk will appoint an attorney from the conflict wheel who specializes in appellate litigation. And again, you'll have 30 days from today to appeal that judgment and sentence in writing. Do you have any questions for me? You will now be remanded into the custody of the Orange County Jail to transfer you to the Department of Corrections, and I wish you the best of luck. State, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further? All right. Thank you all very much. Court's off the record.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, the psycho. And I was so not prepared for all of her bullshit. I knew that she wrote a long ass letter, but the amount of bullshit that she had to say, oh my God, I could not believe that crap. Yeah, there's more. There's more because we have the unredacted whole full bullshit that she did. Her lawyer's statement afterwards. Yeah, I heard her, or after the trial. I did not hear the statement after the trial. Yeah. Lots of shit. Yeah. The Satan sentence that he was asking her not to get. Oh, she was abused. My ass, she was abused. And see that, like I said, this just mirrors the bullshit that we've been seeing going on with the Hales crap, where it's a woe is me coming from Lynette. If that was the case, why didn't she keep the pursuing the temporary restraining order? If that was the case, why didn't she keep the temporary restraining order? If she was so concerned about Jeremy Hales doing something against her, why didn't she pursue it? Because she didn't have a case. And you see that Jeremy was ready to let that crap go. But she's gone and defamed him. And those are things you just can't get back. That kind of defamation that happened to Jeremy, you just can't get that back. You can't uncork that bottle once. You can't recork that bottle once you've opened up that genie and let it out. It's going to, I didn't want it to, because I'm a very optimistic person. But once I started seeing what the kind of bullshit that the fleas were throwing out there, the kind of bullshit in that deposition that I saw, and just in Jeremy's deposition, I haven't even seen Shara's yet. Just what I saw coming out of that deposition, the bullshit that Bubbles had to say, left no doubt in my mind that this wasn't a concerted effort to destroy somebody. And Jeremy wasn't joking when he said that it was going to get worse. That what we're seeing was just the tip of the iceberg. There's more coming. And the more that gets exposed on this, the worse it's going to get. Because it's not about the two Lees. It's not about me. Hey, Bubbles, blow me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if she was so concerned, why didn't she move a long time ago? Because then she could get money out of him. You have to remember, and I said this before it was even shown by Shara, before Shara even showed it. I was saying, Yamaha said the same thing whenever he came in here. They both said the same thing. She is looking for a payout. Bubbles is looking for a payout. The haters are terrified over evidence Shar has. They should be. But see, they're doing everything that they can to say that Shara is a liar, that Shara is not telling the truth. Even whenever it's staring you right in the face, they're going to call her a liar. They're going to say she's making things up. That's what you're going to see. That will be their next move. That is their next move. That has been their next move, is call Jeremy a liar. Call Shar a liar. Everybody's a liar. Everybody's a liar except for the person that did the defamation. Bruce has already conceded that she caused the defamation. Right there in that deposition, said it right out loud. Said it right out loud. Yeah, I give you that. Yeah. And it's not going to look pretty. You have to remember, this is only the deposition portion of it. There's a reason why they don't want that deposition shown. There's a reason why Bruce is filing to have none of this shown. Because for him, it's the court of public opinion. Where it really matters is in the court. Where it really matters is right there in the court. Doesn't matter if we see it or not. Where it matters is in the court. It's scary that this child is in this situation. It's scary that there's been shown that this person abuses. And they are still backing her. They're still backing this abusive, aggressive, violent, lying, cheating, stealing person. Yeah, Bruce told Lynette that she's a celebrity. Yeah. Well, we'll be going over that tomorrow. There'll be, I'm sure, more. There always is. There always is more. It just doesn't stop with them. And here shortly, before the 27th, they'll be in court for that deposition. Bubbles is gonna have to be there for that deposition. And the judge ain't going to tolerate bullshit from either party. Judge isn't going to sit there and he's not going to let, or is it a she? I'm not sure if the magistrate is a he or a she. Writes like a she, but it could be a he. But the magistrate's going to have a lot to say about it. Magistrate isn't going to let this shit go by. From either side, from Jeremy or from Lynette's attorney. And they still haven't ordered on whether they're going to bring in the toothless ones in or not. Once the judge orders that or doesn't, you're going to see a whole new dynamic. A whole new dynamic. But don't worry, because if you think that's the end of Bubbles, no. He's gonna also probably post about it on Facebook and talk about it and write a whole article of how he was mistreated in the Florida court system. If he gets brought in, you can guarantee that he is going to blame everybody else. He's going to blame social media. He's going to blame everybody. Oh, it's because they were attacking me. It's not my fault. And when Lynette loses, it's going to be, oh, it's because social media was just too powerful. How could we go up against the big guy? How can we bring the big guy down? Whenever we have your own statements of how you wanted to, why you wanted to sue out of court, why you wanted to sue them, but you didn't think it was going to go this far because you thought that he can't be bothered with this. People that have money and they have multiple properties and oh my gosh, they're so great and so grand and so big that yeah, they'll just they don't have time for just a few $1,000s. It's costing him more. It makes no sense. Why would he spend more money? It's already cost him in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why would he spend more money litigating this? Because it won't stop with him. It won't stop with him at all. Once they're done with him, they're going to move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. My age range to shame I can't swim for enough across the pond for that trial. Yeah, that's true. You were way behind again. Yeah, sorry, Brandon. Sorry, you don't have to be behind anymore. You can be in front of it. Don't insult pears. Yeah, RIP, Jeff. Yeah. This is, like I said, this trial is hasn't even started yet. This is preliminary. The depositions, the submitting of evidence, all of that stuff is preliminary. When the trial kicks off, it's going to get worse. Nuts? I don't know if they're nuts. I think they're actually pretty damn savvy. They know what they're doing. I think they know what they're doing. I think they're very well aware of what they're doing and I'm sure that they've got direction and they're being given guidance by another person. And that guidance is not going to lead them down a good path. It's not going to lead them down a good path. And I've seen the hate come out of that group of people. I've seen it come into my chat. I've seen it come into my chat. I've seen the hate, the vitriol come over into my chat, come over into my comments on stuff. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen people have shown me. People have shown me this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, please. That's what they'll say. He's going down. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that has been their goal, to take down a large channel. It's some sort of vendetta or goal. We've seen this before. We've seen this on other channels. We've seen this kind of crap happen in the past. There's a reason why people left covering this. There's a reason why they're the few that are left covering it. Shizzy, I look like I need a big hug. No, I just need a good night's sleep tonight. And I won't be losing any sleep tonight. I will be getting a nice bit of rest. It was a long day. Just a long day. Ugh. It's how it goes. I've got a stream to set up for tomorrow morning. I do a morning stream and I do an evening stream. And tomorrow morning, hopefully there's some good news that comes out. I need a little good news, a little bit of good news coming into the holiday. If not, I'm just gonna mock and laugh at all of it. I was sure the court ordered the redo of the depot had to be before the 23rd. Well, it's only a partial that they have to do before the 23rd. So before the 23rd, the court ordered that they have to finish the depot because they didn't complete it. Okay. So, and that was in part because of Jeremy, part because of his attorney, part because of the plaintiff's attorney, Bubbles. And so they will complete the depot. So everything that you've seen for the depot so far will stay in. That doesn't get erased. They're not redoing the whole depot. They're just doing the last part of it, and you'll be allowed to ask about his business and that kinds of things. But he also has to keep it within a certain scope. So I'm sure that people are out there going, oh, they're redoing the depot. You don't do a 7-hour depot in 2 hours. It's not what happens, because they have 2 hours for the depot. If you read the order, it says it's a it's a redo of the end of that deposition. So they're given a total of 3 hours. It's 2 hours for him to complete his portion of the depot, because I think there were 5 hours into it. So they had 2 hours left to complete the depot from the defense, which would be, the defendant, which would be Bruce Matskin, has 2 hours to ask more questions. Shockett will have 45 minutes to cross, to clarify anything in that depot. And then there will be 15 minutes for Bruce to come back in and cross anything out that he may have occurred to him during Jeremy or during Shockett's portion of it. And then we still, George still needs to be depoted. I think the depositions end in April. And now you have to understand that so far, this is just Jeremy's deposition, George, Shara, and they still haven't deposed John, Lynette, still haven't deposed any other witnesses. And if Bubbles gets put in, he could be deposed. If the toothless ones get put in, they could be deposed. And that's all up to the judge. Two or three people are saying the redo of the deposition is this Thursday, the 19th. I've heard that also. We'll see. We'll see. I guess we'll know more after the Thursday. They are the lawsuit. No. Are the real names what are the real names of these people? The real names of these people. Well, Shara is her real name, and George's real name. It's her middle name, but George, yeah. And then you've got Jeremy Hales, which is the person. Then you got Bruce Matskin, or is what did I call him last night? Deuce napkin, sort of like toilet paper. The thing that you would wipe a deuce with, or pick up a deuce out of the yard after a dog drops one. And then you've got those. There you go. Am I going to go to Jeff's funeral? No, I'm not going to Jeff's funeral. That would be, I'm not able to do something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be either in Utah. Jeff and I weren't close. I think I had been on a stream with him once, maybe twice at different times. I think I was on a stream with him on Meme Copiums. I think that's right. He might have been on Jessica Reloaded stream one time. Hard to remember. Yeah, like I said, I've met Jeff maybe twice online. I've never met him in person. We've never had any conversations. That wasn't our relationship. He was a mod on my channel, and he had access to come in and drop his link anytime that he wanted to, and he would sometimes watch my streams, but we weren't close. We didn't run in the same circles per se. So Danny on will be there. Yeah, I hope so. Is the my person better with names than I am? I don't know. I'm going to strongly recommend everyone follow the wishes of the family. Absolutely. Thank you, Brandon. That is very well put. Everyone recommend the wishes of the family. If the family doesn't want people there, don't be showing up. That would be bad. That would be bad. His son said they're having a memorial for him where he was living, and then possibly one here in the States. Good. Well, also Meg was very close with Jeff, and she was also in communication with his son. So that wouldn't surprise me if that it's a little bit smaller ceremony. But whatever the family desires is what people should follow. His son said they're going to have a memorial for him where he's living. So that would have been in Seoul, because he had a lot of friends in Seoul, Korea. So that's how it goes. It's unfortunate. Taken a little too soon. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good evening. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys really soon. It is getting late here in the States, and I do need my beauty rest, or at least that's what I'm told. So I got people telling me I'm looking pretty rough. looking tired. Son, what you been doing? Don't you know you need to get yourself some rest? Yeah, I will get a little bit of rest tonight. And I think I'll leave you guys with a little bit of Sarah Boone tonight, because that's what we were covering. Yeah, let me pop that one off of there, and I want to drop in the Sarah Boone one for the outro video. And it's a different outro than the last one I showed you. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you in the morning if you swing by 6:30 a.m. Make sure you hit the like button. And if I got somewhere I can send you, I will send you guys there. Let me see what we got here for you guys. Oh, yeah. Looks like good logic is going on, and so is Lauren. Ooh, go give Lauren some love. Yes, we're going to send you over to Lauren. Give her some love. She was harassed by I forget what her name was. Marla Hughes started harassing her. So make sure you give Lauren some love. She doesn't know you guys, but you guys are awesome. And I may have a chance to meet up with Lauren in the very near future. So, show that lady some love. See you guys. Have a good
Look inside, I can't wait. You passed out, hoping you return my fate. Empty my stash out, stupid game has turned to cruel. Are you feeling me? Love is gotta feel the fool like you breathe. Wasn't meant to be my night. Hiding in the suitcase tight. Sarah's giggles fade away, leaving me as a castaway. Sarah, let me out, I'm begging, please. Breathing stuff, I'm almost begging. Please. Please don't leave me here. Lost my air in this gear. In this case, I disappear.
Show Lawrence